Hey guys, welcome back to the Bayside Fabrication YouTube channel. As you can see, I'm in my truck, and I don't know if you can see that, but I am pulling a empty car trailer. So that only means one thing in my world. Yes, we are going to pick up a new car, and I'm excited because it comes with a ton of spare parts, and it's actually a pretty good deal for what it is. So I'm hoping to show you guys what I got here, and yeah, get the ball rolling on a new project here. So, update on the K-Swap. The fully built motor is going in the car, and I'm just waiting for a couple small parts from Japan, just a timing tensioner, and that's really about it, actually, at this point. So, that motor is ready to go back in, but one of these parts that I'm picking up today is actually going to be bolted to that motor, which I'm very, very excited about. And anyways, I'll just show you when we get here. I'm not sure if this guy wants to be filmed or anything, so if not, I'll just we'll just go over the car once it gets back to my house. So let's check it out. And here it is. Whoop whoop. Another 911. Okay guys, here it is. 2000 996. I'll get more into the details once it's all loaded up and back in my house, but I just don't want to be weird with the camera and, you know, the seller here. So we'll go over it, but it's a good deal. All right, guys, here it is. I didn't do too much filming at the guy's house just because I think it's awkward and weird to just, you know, start filming when you're trying to, you know, look over a car and all that stuff. But here it is. It is a track car, and I got some plans for it. So we'll go over all those tomorrow morning. I had a really long day of driving and all that stuff, and I'll go over everything it came with. The car was almost secondary to all the stuff I got with it. I got a ton of parts for this that are pretty valuable. Actually, some of them are really valuable, and we'll just go over that in the morning. But yeah, we'll just see you in the morning. All right, well, good morning. As promised, it's the next day, and I'm going to show you this car. So what we have here is a 2000 996. So this is the M96 3.4 liter with the drive-by-wire throttle. So this guy used this car as a track car, but it was also registered, so he said he just went to Cars and Coffee and stuff with it. But I guess he did most of the work to it. He bought it stock, and it does have a rebuilt title, which isn't the end of the world for me because of the price point I paid for it and everything. I guess a tree fell on the roof at some point, and it was salvaged, and then obviously it got all fixed, went through the rebuild certification process in Florida, and now it has a rebuilt title, so it's good to register and all that stuff if someone wants to do that. But I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this car. So the story is, like I said, this guy tracked the car. He actually put I think it's like $1,100, I don't remember the brand, but a oil baffle kit and extra 2-quart capacity kit on the car. And when he did that, he found a couple pieces of timing chain guide in the oil pan, which if anybody has worked on these, it's actually very normal. So that's the situation with that. So it definitely needs new timing guides, but the car runs and drives just fine. Let's see. I just locked myself out. There we go. So as you can see, every time I go to start it on the right hand side, So the car's got 82,000 original miles on it, which is fantastic. Yeah, it's got, I mean, we'll go through everything in here, but it's got all sorts of parts on it, which is kind of why I bought the car. It's got this numeric shifter on it, which is just badass. I'm actually going to put this in my blue car. So this actually can extend up and everything, but man, this shifter is like, I thought my shifter was nice, man. This is as solid as it gets. So I'm gonna steal that shifter. I'll turn the car off here. Okay, so what else it comes with are these Redline floor plates, which are actually pretty nice. So I might grab those too. It comes with these Recaro seats. These are actually, I guess the factory cover was pretty bad on them. So he had some guy just kind of whip something together, and I don't think it's much better, but they're actual legit Recaro shells. So maybe I can look at getting these reupholstered or something, or I don't know, move them along or something like that, but not the end of the world. It's got a roll bar in it, which is actually, oh shoot, what's the name? I can't remember the brand on it. It'll come to me. So it's got a nice roll bar. It's probably a $1,000 roll bar. It's got Apex wheels with 1 heat cycle Toyo R88Rs. So the tires are pretty much brand new. So here we just have the M96, pretty much all stock in here. It has the IMS bearing done, the L&N IMS bearing fix. It has a brand new clutch. It actually has a transaxle out of a C4. So this transaxle is for a 4-wheel drive version, and I'll tell you in 2 seconds why he did that. Because I got a really nice piece that came with this car. But anyways, it's got the C4S transaxle. Everything runs, everything works, everything sounds fine. The secondary air pump does have a little whistle to it, but that's not a big deal. So yeah, everything checks out. I just drove down the street last night real quick, but you know, with the timing chain guide pieces in it, you know, I'm not really trying to, you know, drive this car around right now. I'm just kind of chilling with it and coming up with a plan of what I should do with it. After he found the timing guide pieces, he tracked it 5 more times. So it doesn't seem to have any effect on it, but it definitely is something that needs to be addressed. So that's that. Yeah, so that's pretty much the car. Like I said, it's relatively good. I'd say the paint is probably 6 out of 10. It's got, I can't stand these yellow headlights, but I'll probably peel those off just because. So it's got these headlights, but they are the clear ones, so they should be exactly like that. So I'm going to peel those off, see what it looks like. But let me show you all the goodies that it came with, because that's almost my favorite part of this purchase. So we'll go left to right here. So this is for the shifter extensions. It's got a full Redline pedal kit. It came with these really nice taillights, which I'm actually going to pop one of them on the blue car, and just to see how they look. It's got some still in date, I think they expire this year though, Scroth cam lock harnesses, so that's really nice to have. Came with rear seats, blue rear seats, which actually is the same color interior as that, so that's nice. Came with, what else? Okay, another set of headlights. They're like $400 or $500 if you have to buy them used, so that's nice. It came with a bunch of parts. These are coils, some gaskets. It's got a coolant expansion tank, blah, blah, blah. Just a bunch of extra parts there. Came with this is a used clutch, and it actually doesn't look too bad. So it's got a clutch, and then there's a factory dual mass flywheel in there as well. So that's really nice to have. Full set of lug nuts. If you guys had to buy lug nuts for these, you know that they're like $3 or $4 each, I think. So times 5 per wheel, they add up. And this is supposedly a whole box of every single nut bolt from the chassis of a 996. I guess it came with the car when you bought it, and the guy bought it off eBay, and it was labeled as every single bolt for a Porsche 996 chassis. So we'll see what's in there, but that's kind of cool to have. I actually lost one of the flange nuts on the cross member in this car, so that's good to have. Okay, now we got a brand new set of Toyo R88Rs, which I'll probably just wind up selling because I don't have any use for them at the moment. So brand new set of staggered Toyo R88Rs, probably $1,200 worth of value right there. We have factory seats, which are in not great condition, but all the mechanicals and everything seem to be okay. So, you know, if I can sell them for $100 or something, that'll be good. 3 radiator fans. Here we have just a bunch of factory interior pieces, shifter, e-brake, trim pieces. We got a center console, brand new center console, front bumper, which is in iffy shape, but it's a spare that will work. And this is the best part. So this is the transaxle that was in this car originally before he switched to the C4S. Now, it was making some noises. I guess it had some synchro issues or something. And he brought this to a really well-known Porsche transmission builder that was kind of in his area. And he went through the whole thing, and it's a fresh, rebuilt 996 transaxle with a brand new WaveTrack limited slip diff in it. So most of these transaxles from the factory did not come with a limited slip diff. So this, just the diff alone in this is $1,800. So it's got an $1,800 differential in it. The housing itself used go for about $2,000. And he said he paid about, I think it was $2,000 for the rebuild on this, somewhere about that. So we're looking at an almost $5,000 transaxle right there, just in parts and, you know, what it is. So that's very exciting to have. And now that that's here, I'm going to put that transaxle in the blue car right off the bat. And then we'll have this one as a spare. Now, I'm not sure what to do, like I said, with this car. This transaxle here is worth about $1,000 more than the simple rear wheel drive transaxle. Having that output flange and everything, they go for like $3,500. These go for about $2,000 in the used market. So I'm kind of debating, well, what should I do here? Should I pull that transaxle out and sell it and put that one in? I mean, that involves pulling the transmission and stuff, which isn't the end of the world. Or should I just leave that in and say whatever and, you know, just take it as a loss if I decide to sell this car? So that leads me to the big question now is, what do I do with this car? Believe it or not, I actually have a deposit and have had a deposit on another 996, a forest green 996, a 99, so the same as this one with a cable throttle body. And I've had a deposit on it for about a month and a half now. There's just a huge issue with the title. The guy who owned it did an incorrect power of attorney when he got it for the title, and I don't know, it's a whole situation, but long story short is I should be seeing the title for this car in a week or so here. So I got my fingers crossed that early November, I'll be able to pick up this car. And it's got no motor or transmission in it, but it's a really nice green color. It's got a couple body issues, but that's not a big deal. But I really like that car, and having a clean title and everything is, you know, a pretty big factor there. I don't care, guys. I mean, I'll tell you the price what I paid. I paid just a little over $11,000 for this car. So I feel like I got a good deal for a running car. I actually did all the math, and there is $10,000 worth of aftermarket parts in this car. That's including tires, wheels. You know, I didn't even factor in the taillights or headlights. Those are like $500-600 for a pair each. So all that stuff, you know, factored into it. So I pretty much, you know, said, hey, this car at the end of the day is like $2,000 more or less for a running, driving, rebuilt title 911. So not a bad deal on my end. So at the end of the day, I think we'll be just fine price-wise on this car. I mean, it runs and drives, so there's no arguing that. But I am thinking that we actually might do a full roll cage in this car. I think that will really help the sale of it, being as it's an imperfect track car right now with a rebuilt title. There's no point in trying to make it like super nice. I think it would be a much more advantageous to really prep it for racing, you know, pull the roll bar out and put in a legit like 10-point roll bar, or roll cage rather, and, you know, made for like wheel to wheel. I'll have to just double check SCCA rules and stuff like that, but, you know, we'll use all the right materials and whatever they want, but build a legit like 10-point cage or something for this car. And, you know, if you had to pay a shop to do that, it's $5,000 at least. So I figure if I could add that kind of value back into the car, you know, this would probably be worth about, I don't know, 15 grand maybe, with a really nice cage in it as is. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I think it would sell pretty much instantly at that point. And yeah, I can't remember what suspension he said he had in this, but it's pretty much GT3 suspension. So it's not as low as I'd like, but it is what it is. But I'm just gonna do a couple small things. I'm gonna pull off these goofy stickers and just kind of go through the car and see what else it's got in it, organize all the parts, and go from there. But yeah, guys, that's it. Got another 911, and pretty excited about it. Now, just to mention, I'm not going to really do anything with this car until this one is running again. And I'm 95% there. So I'm going to get that motor back into this car as soon as possible, get this car running, and then this car is just gonna have to sit for the time being, and we'll play around with this at a later date. But it's not going anywhere, but I'm excited to have it and have something to move forward on once the blue car is, you know, up and running. But that's it for this one. Thanks for checking out the new car with me, and I'm excited. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Thanks for watching.